Okay, Joel, saw you a bit poorly, but I thought I'd go and have a look. It's a nice sunny day, as you can probably see. So I'm 5 right, 4 down in the colour grid. So, 5 right in the colour grid, 4 down in darkness. And I thought you probably need a bit of a drive-in. So if you haven't seen this, the windscreen's not quite as good as the day roof for vistas. So, But I thought you probably want to drive in, if you haven't seen the previous footage, in the Daewoo from probably 2015, 16, maybe 17, I don't know. Looking for the brown patch and things like that. I may include it when I upload this thing. So it's school time, so it's probably going to be a bit more traffic than I would like, but so high dynamics, high resolution, which took us years to learn, but don't think much changes. We're just about to go into July. All the moss in the cracks and grooves and the paving is all greened up and will stay green for quite a while. But that usually occurs much earlier when we have a proper season and we have a good dump of rain early on. Now, is anyone coming up here? Because there's the real. Get up here because I've got to cross over, you see, so I've got to look out for traffic coming the other way. So usually I like to like a nice leisurely stroll up here. It is school time, so there might be people coming down here to look. So I've got to watch out for anything coming the other way, and there isn't. I can go in here. Right, and we can pop in here and see what the Pro-Roll is like. I probably missed the window, but this is probably the day that either today or tomorrow when it's sunny, because the season's been a bit wonky. Look at the views out there. You can see the ocean there, so we're quite coastal here. So maybe I'll park over here so someone else can get through. And okay, what's our rule? From the car to the bush. Yeah, we're still wrong. I thought it finished or something, but in the park. Okay. Get organised, I suppose. I'll put down there. How much battery have I got? Oh, I've got to put the display on, don't I? For that. I don't know. Okay, how much? Yeah, we've got good battery. Okay, I'm still on that. Still on general patrols. Okay. Haven't pressed any buttons. As I said, when I don't film for a while, I tend to forget, and also when you change the battery, everything changes, so So you can see, nice sunny day. Reckon we're having rain for the next, they put fencing in. Fantastic, fellas. How far have you put it down? So we're quite hilly up here, but very close to the ocean over there. So we've got some sort of sty down here. I suppose they've had to keep themselves busy in the lockdown. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, do what the locals do, I suppose. It's very nice though, very gorgeous looking. Got the pylons there. Yeah. I'll put a stay in here. Okay. It's gorgeous sunlight today, and howdy, gorgeous sunlight today. And then we'll go up here. Yes. Oh yes, I've learned a few things. I've set up as many pots as I well, geez, go the long way round. I've set up as many pots as I could, and yeah, go onto the power lines. And we'll take a walk down there later, I think, depending on what we see up here. Nice semi-glaucous blue gum. Oh yeah, that's the one I think. It's 2 paths. We go up here and take a look. Got about 30 minutes on this clip, I think, so I can afford myself. Anyway, I've set up as many pots as I could. I have to restock my chemicals now, I think. But what I've learned are about 4 things running together. You need a chemically stable, well-drained, anaerobic soil with little to no chalkiness. Oh, there's the car. Yeah, I know. I think they put it in better styles, wouldn't you? Anyway, if we go up here, you'll probably recognise this. You know, I took the photo. We walked down there. Probably will do that now. Can't see any flower stalks there. You know, on the side, on the ground. No. Maybe it was a bad year. They didn't set. It was on the. As I said, it was a bit wonky. We got about 3 or 4 flowers on our Grevillea robusta, starting to, you know, still pushing out, trying to come out, even though it's like 2 months later than it should be. And, oh, there we go. No, they haven't cracked. So, oh, you got time to go. Told you it was a wonky year. Yeah, wonky year. So I reckon they've got another 2 weeks, actually, maybe a week to 2. Yeah, look at that. I know. Can you see that? Oh, I better put it on spot colour. I'm sorry about that. As I said, I'm missing habit. There we go. Having trouble. There we go. Can you see that? And this one here in the sunlight. So they're almost at the stage when I first took those photographs for you. Well, the first ones I took, like 2 weeks before, which is amazing. It's. I mean, I took those in. Was it early? Was it late May, early June? I can't remember now. I have to look them up on they're all date stamped on the camera photographs. So yeah, so well, let's just take a walk down here since we've got plenty of time. And oh, they're getting a bit thin there. They're getting a bit thin. Yeah, sounds. Wouldn't be surprised. Probably school kids taking the odd, you know, taking them in for show and tell. Or show than tell, I think. Oh yeah, so I probably have to go back to spot Cullen. Not spot Cullen, General Petraeus. We were on spot Cullen for the close-ups. Yeah, so few flowers set, but when they are, they're late. So that's what I'm taking from it. So I'll just walk down here. Compared to, you know, you've seen these on the video and on things that I've taken. So yeah. So few set this year because of the wonky season, and the ones that have set are really late. So that's good for you. Okay. Go down here. Have a bit of a squeeze. If there's not much doing, you can just. But you can see this the sort of slick on here. Now that's what I'm talking about. What I've worked out is they don't like chalkiness because chalkiness is a drying process, which then the water, the incompressible liquid, which is dried off, is replaced with what is air, or you know, the atmosphere, basically. So, yeah, previously anaerobic environment isn't anaerobic anymore, and the plants don't grow. Very simple, really. So the chalkiness has got nothing to do with calcium. It's it's a physical thing. So anything that's chalky, even non-calcium stuff, will yeah. So puts a whole new perspective on things, and yeah. So you've got to think about the chemical side of things, and you've got to think about the physiochemical side of things. So yeah. Anyway, I'm rapidly getting to the answer, I think. So we'll see how we go. Hopefully we'll get some seed germination, because I'm wondering if that's what it is. You see, the seeds can sense whether it's you know, chalky. Well, I think they can sense whether it's anaerobic or not. So if the surface of the soil isn't anaerobic, they won't germinate. So anyway, so because that takes us back to the idea now that perlite and sphagnum are basically doing the same thing. They're holding water in the highland cells of the sphagnum, yeah, and within the interstices of the lots of native orchids. And I can't remember if I sent you all the prophyllises or I only sent you half. Didn't I send you half? That means I should have the same amount again. So have you had any germination? Because I haven't had any germination, but then again, I'm doing all these experiments, you see, and now I might get germination. Now I know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the surface of the soil to be anaerobic, you know, and it means it can't be chalky in any sense of the word. So yeah, let's just go to the edge here so you can look down. So you got, well, it's quite hilly, so you're getting good drainage, but you've got to get that slick. You want that slick, because that slick tells you it's not chalky. So clay is okay. A clay is silt, or silty clay, as long as it doesn't draw in the air, you see. So I think the ultimate test is going to be a big bucket of 2 bags of perlite. Yeah, 5 litres each, basically. Well, they don't seem to give you the right amounts these days in the bags. And then put a half a litre, 500 mils of cat litter newspaper cellulose, and then another basically 500 mils of your formula on top. And hopefully, if it's not chalky, it'll keep a nice slick on there. The perlite will stop the bulk or mass flow of the water by holding it in the interstices. So in other words, it's a bit like sphagnum, but it doesn't go off. And it also puts the water under tension, which I think might be an important point. Of course, tension can work both ways. If you suck the water down from the surface of the soil, it's not going to be anaerobic. It's going to suck air down into the medium. It's going to become aerobic. So that's not a good thing. So hopefully, once all the interstices are filled up, there's no mass water movement. The water is under tension. So I think that's the other thing, you know, it has to be somewhat under tension, which is probably to do with the fineness of your sand, like your K140 sand. So I've forgotten the point about the tension. I've forgotten the point. It doesn't seem to be. Let's go back down here. We'll just go for a wander down the path, have a look at the other plants, go through this lovely sunshine, through the midges. Plenty of tucker there for the plants. Make sure we've still got 15 minutes left on the card. So it'll take a good 20 minutes. Basically, it takes about a minute per minute to upload these days. So we're going down here. Whoa. Yep, that's the slick. That's the slick. So that means. So basically all these weedy plants using this other form of nitrogen, as the books say, they're basically all growing in anaerobic soil, basically. So once the rains get there, it rapidly becomes anaerobic and stays anaerobic as long as you've got this slick on the surface. And there's no chalkiness. So all this business about, you know, CPs and all related plants not liking calcium, I think it's a load of bollocks. It's not the calcium they don't like, it's the chalkiness, because the chalkiness means it dries the medium and the water is replaced with atmospheric air and it becomes non-anaerobic anymore. So, yeah. So I can't remember what the point about the tension in the water is. I can't remember now. Oh, it's a good point of why you want tension in the water. Is that what the fineness of the sand does, the K140? It puts tension into the water. I've forgotten now what it was. It's an important point. Oh, I'm just getting old, fellas. Struggling. But you can see you've got these acacia thorn bushes, and if I wasn't gas bagging so much, we'd probably look into these things and find the odd plant. Probably needs a jolly good rubby bones. See the slick and the, what do you call it, a tilth? I don't know. Of course, this goes all the way down to those big boulder area. I might take you down there just for a bit of a thrill, you know, if you're laying up in bed, sore throat or something, writhing with the Rona. That's what I should get. Maybe that's what I should call this one. Now, we used to have some plants here, but they decided to put the logs all over it. Very, very funny, fellas, very funny. That one's right on the edge. That one's still, so I didn't put it on spot colour. Let's go down here a bit. So, yeah, after the next rains, fellas, I think. So suppose we were having rains Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So maybe this rains or the next one, the sunny day afterwards. But as I said, the evidence is here. It's been such a wonky year. All the plants flowering at the wrong time. The extra flowering, wrong flowering, all through the neighbourhood. Everything's been... but they are beautiful plants. As I call this South Australia's most beautiful sundew. And it really is when it first comes out and you haven't had the rain to... There's all the bikers. Yeah, it's very slicky down here, so I've got to watch it. You want to break a leg out here and have to drag yourself back to the road with your canoe behind you. Yeah, it's a blackadder joke. For the old Basil, he likes his blackadder. Okay. And we used to walk down there, down to Prefolia country through there. That's a long walk, you know, it's a good, 20 minutes, I suppose. And I could do it, but, as I said, the last few years I haven't been getting my fitness up at the beginning of the season because they've been such... Yeah, sorry about it, I should have done that. But, yeah. And this will go round that and back up again, I think. So you can see all the rockage in the area. So, and you can go down to other places that I haven't even been to, you know. Been here for so many years and there's pathways I've never even taken. So there you go. But look at that tilth, that slickness. That's what you want. That's going to tell you you've basically got an anaerobic soil, and of course you're on the second type of nitrogen source in these types of soils, you see. So if you want to look that up for weedy plants, of course the question you want to ask is, they always talk about the plants growing on disturbed soil. So what is it about disturbing the soil that makes them germinate, you see? I mean, if there's only two forms of nitrogen, when you disturb the soil, do you oxidise one of them? But isn't it already oxidised? I don't know. Doesn't quite make sense. Again, nothing quite makes sense. But I think it's beginning to have a bit of an inkling now. You want a chemically stable, in other words, why it's wet and damp during the season, it's chemically stable. Let's go down here. Well drained anaerobic soil. A contradiction in terms, I know, well drained and anaerobic. Okay, is it that one down there, or I forgot? It's this one, I think. Even though you think it's going back from the edge, you eventually get down there. Well, there's a bird for you. But see this sort of tilthy slickness, slicky tilthness. I don't know.